I see that all over the state. And it's so funny how, you keep saying that the Miami market is crazy because it is a little interesting that you see, like, I see certain pockets of Florida that sellers just can't get rid of their houses. And then
Mm.
I have a client that went under contract in the Orlando area. And literally over the weekend, the realtor kept on calling me, asking me for a new pre-approval for more money. And I'm like, what is going on? And they were like,
Yeah.
we're in a multiple offer situation on this, which is so interesting that you have everything from houses sitting for 100 to 200 days. And then you have multiple offer situations.
I call it a crazy market.
Welcome to Home Buyer Hotspot. I am your host, Jennifer Fanning with Cross Country Mortgage, working from the sunny state of Florida. Welcome to my show today. Today, we are going to be talking about the Miami real estate market. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure that you hang out. Come stay with my friend Lisa and I as we chat about the reality of buying and selling in Miami. So if you want more information like this, please like, subscribe, ring that bell so that when you subscribe, you get notification every time that I download a new video. My entire channel is about real estate in Florida. So Lisa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, I am in South Florida, Miami, sunshine. We have it all here.
As far south as you can get.
According to me, one of the best. According to many, I don't know. But yeah, basically, my name is Lisa Biagioni. So I work with Selfish Group Realty. My brokerage, it's in Royal Palm, which means we serve West Palm Beach, Broward County. I mean, Palm Beach County, I'm sorry, Broward County and Miami-Dade, meaning we cover the whole entire south area of Florida, which we have tons to offer. We have for everything, for everyone. Every first time buyers, investors, Airbnbs, I mean, you name it, we have it. It's really beautiful and crazy down here. So
Yes, it
you
is.
feel,
So Lisa, how did you get into real estate? What made you want to do real estate?
yeah. Well, let me just say it. If you guys want to contact me down here, it's very simple. Just get to my website, which is my name, Lisa Biagioni. Since it's so hard, just text me or call me to 786-554-7123. And I got to real estate because I am half Cuban, half Russian. I speak four languages, English being one of them, which is, you won't believe this. It's a plus down here.
Yes, well, I go to Miami and I'm like, man, why don't I know Spanish?
You gotta speak Spanish here. So
Yes,
I got the English, which is the part that you don't need down here,
correct.
unfortunately. But no, you do need it. You do need it. That's just a joke.
It
But
is.
speaking those languages and coming from Moscow, Russia, I thought that we have a lot of Russians on the isle up into Hallandale. It's full of Russians. So I thought, I speak Russian. They have a lot of money. They're buying a lot here. I'm gonna get in real estate. It's gonna be so easy. That's why I got in real estate. So,
Okay.
and then it wasn't easy. It was, but I fell in love regardless. I fell in love
Yes.
regardless because although I do work with a lot of Russians, I work mainly with, believe it or not, Americans that need help down here with someone who speaks English and Spanish. And,
Yes. Yeah, because a
and
lot
so,
of realtors down there are Spanish only. So you need a realtor. If you're English speaking only, you need a realtor that can speak both so that they can communicate with the other agent.
well, not only that, it's also, it gives you access to everything. For instance, you're a great lender. Many realtors can work with you. Even if I
Correct.
recommended it, you gotta recommend someone who speaks Spanish, and you're
Agree.
missing on so much. I mean, you as a realtor, I mean, I don't get it, but we're talking about real estate,
Right.
so let's go back to
Absolutely.
real
So,
estate.
so are you ready to dive into my questions for you?
Absolutely, bring it on. Are they in what language, please?
English only, because my Spanish is terrible. I know I'm so boring. Listen, they always say surround yourself with people who are smarter than you. So therefore, that's why you're in my group. You speak four languages. I don't.
Well, you're smarter than me and many other areas that you help me
There you
tremendously a
go.
lot,
There
especially
you
with
go.
my first time home buyers. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of lenders that want to work with them, especially in Miami. It's virtually impossible for first time homebuyers to buy in Miami. And
Wow.
you help me with so many of them. I mean,
Thank you.
it's
Thank you.
you see? It's
Always a pleasure to help you. So, how
thank you.
would you describe the current Miami real estate market? Are they leaning towards a buyer's market or a seller's market? What would you say from what you're seeing out there?
I'll be completely honest with you. It all depends. It all depends.
Depends
It's
on
great.
what, like neighborhoods or
It all depends of neighborhoods too. We are exactly in what we call crazy, crazy market, meaning you are unable to buy, you are unable to sell, but yet everything is selling and prices are not going down.
okay,
We
well,
were
and
waiting.
I noticed that because before I got on the show, I just did a quick search of, Florida markets, different markets and where the values were going down and where they were going up, and Miami is one of the areas that's still going up.
It's not going down because
No.
we still have people who buy for the price. I mean, and sellers are a lot of sellers. They put crazy prices because they think their houses cost 1 million. But in reality, many of them are back to normal, to reality. They are willing to sell their house for the price that the house worth. So I'm seeing a lot of good sales out there, and we still have buyers because our market, it's very different than other markets. We do not have seasons in which we don't sell. As a matter of fact, we have seasons that we sell most because it doesn't sell somewhere else. And we have buyers coming from all over the world. So however you put it, we are always going to have buyers. Locals, it's hard for them. It's very hard to locals to compete, but there are
I would
options for
agree.
them too. There are options
I would definitely agree that the local, it's harder for them to buy because there's so many international buyers. I mean,
with
I feel like
cash.
Miami is the New York City of Florida, and of the
Miami
South and of the
is
South.
becoming the New York City. Miami is
Yeah.
becoming because a lot of people from Miami are selling their homes, cashing out, and going to buy somewhere else. A lot of them can wait and buy before they sell because they don't it's too expensive down here if you compare to other areas. But at the same time, our job opportunities are amazing. A lot of companies are moving down here, and that I mean the salaries we have here they don't have it in other areas of Florida. So it's our market is crazy. I'll bring you an example. I have a client that bought at the beginning of the year a townhome in Coral Spring.
Okay.
He he bought that home because he thought he wanted to live in forever. Because I mean,
Yeah.
he used to live in North Florida and South Florida. It's fun, you know. So that was at the beginning of the year. He bought for it was 420. He bought 420. Yeah,
Okay.
correct. So he put it in the market where a couple of months later. So it was like around April, he put it back in the market, if I remember correctly.
That's that soon?
Yeah, because he changed his time. We have well, he didn't speak Spanish anyways, so it's hard. So he decided this is maybe not the place for me. And I said, hey, why don't you rent it? No, I don't want to rent it. I just sell it. I don't care if I lose. Okay. We put it for 70
Okay.
and it sold for 60.
Okay.
And it sold in July, mid-July, almost
Which
August.
is normally kind of our slower time because there's
But it was a
fewer
good community.
people.
It was a newer townhome. It was in a nice area, and that
Mhm.
doesn't happen every day. Okay.
Right.
But that happened this year, in the year in which everybody's saying my house is staying in the market forever. So things like that are happening every day in Florida. So it all depends where your house is, location, location, location. It depends
100
of
oh,
who's your realtor.
100%. And obviously you priced it, a zone where people would actually look at it. It wasn't so overpriced that people wouldn't look at it.
The problem here is that today, for instance, I was talking last week to a client about prices in the area. And a few
Mhm.
days later, a house sold for way more than we expected. That's a new comp there, right? And it can happen vice versa too. And so we have a lot going on down here. So you always, even when the major mistake we do is that we think the house will sell for this price that we think it is. Sometimes you have to adjust the price, and not always it's down. Sometimes you have to put it up.
Right.
It depends. It depends. There are many strategies. Yeah, but
Oh,
we are selling. We're
so That's good. Are you seeing multiple offer situations like we were a couple years ago? Or has that kind of cooled off and now there's room for negotiation?
Now we have room for negotiation, and sellers understand this, and sellers are willing and ready to negotiate.
That's good. That's good for the buyer who wants to come in and buy in the Miami market then.
Well, nothing explained to the seller better than three other houses in the same street selling at the
Yeah,
same time. And that
right.
is a reality we have in Miami, like everywhere in Florida. We have more houses for sale than buyers looking at those
Yes.
houses.
Yes, that is very true. I see that all over the state. And it's so funny how, you keep saying that the Miami market is crazy because it is a little interesting that you see, like, I see certain pockets of Florida that sellers just can't get rid of their houses. And then I have a client that went under contract in the Orlando area. And literally over the weekend, the realtor kept on calling me, asking me for a new pre-approval for more money. And I'm like, what is going on? And they were like, we're in a multiple offer situation on this home, which is so interesting that you have everything from houses sitting for 100 to 200 days. And then you have multiple offer situations.
I call it a crazy market.
Yeah.
And experts call it, it's going to go down, it's going to go this. I don't believe in experts anymore. Not that I don't believe, I, that's not exactly what I mean.
Right.
Um, Sometimes when you listen to experts, you have to also go out to the market. When you're local, you understand what's
Yeah.
going on, and there are a
Right.
few things that help sell the house. I mean, we have an amazing area here, Miami Shores. You have that area. It's great. It's like being you're not in
Yes.
Florida. You're not in Miami. You're not in Miami. There, it's like everybody speaks English there. I mean, the
Miami
community.
Shores is so beautiful.
People walk there, people say hello to each other, and that it's
Mhm.
in the center of the city, right by what US 1 is, which we call it here Biscayne
Yes.
Boulevard. It's right there. It's in the
Hmm.
middle of Miami per se, on the north part of Miami. And people still live. It's amazing. However, you have properties there that value like I don't know, 20 millions, maybe. Then you have other ones 2.3, something like that. And then you can
So the
still find
lower end, so the lower end of that neighborhood is 2.3 million?
no, 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 no. It depends because it's a big neighborhood. So if you're closer to the water, you do have access to the ocean. I mean, to the canals that go to the ocean. Those price the most. But then you
Correct.
go to the other side, and you can find for less than a million, but you have to put a lot of money there, right?
Yeah.
Which people
Yeah.
are willing to do in that neighborhood.
Well,
The the
well,
other
to be in the neighborhood, because you can't move the house, but you can fix the house if the house isn't what you want, right?
and it's totally worth it. So, but that's an area where people who go to buy there, they want to be there, and they usually have the money, and they usually want the nice home. They don't want to go there and start building. So, but that's in the same neighborhood you have from one corner because the water is right there to well for us it's normal. Okay, 7.5. I mean 750,000 house. It's a good price in Miami for a 3-2 with a pool. Okay, you got that in that area. And it's like, whoa, that doesn't exist in
There's no
Miami.
water, right? There's no water. It's
You have the
750,000.
pool if you
Oh,
get
but
lucky.
okay. So if you're lucky, you get a pool and the house needs work, correct? Like it's
Well, in
750,000 in
that
that neighborhood?
neighborhood, in that
Yeah, in
neighborhood.
that
Now, if you
neighborhood.
move a little bit south, you can find for that amount a nice home where you
Okay.
don't have to do that much with the pool. So Miami has it all. Miami has
Yes.
townhomes. Miami has the mansions, and then you have the homes that nobody wants to live into. We have the condos that everybody loves, the condos that everybody hates. I
Yeah.
mean, we have it all. We can help investors. We can help people who think they're invest. We can help first time home buyers. We can help everyone because we have it all. And what we have the
Exactly.
most is the sunshine, real one,
Yes.
even when
That's
you
right.
guys are freezing.
As New York is, getting ready to go into their winter, my friend from New York was saying that next week she's supposed to be getting some snow. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Now I am in
I miss it.
northern. Yeah, I am in northern Florida. And so we had some 50-degree days so far
You
this
know,
this week, and I guess we're heading into a cold front next week.
Look at you. Sharing it's caring. No, but we got lucky. We all of us have that hurricane, the beautiful hurricane season. We got super
Yeah.
lucky this year. I'm so
We
grateful.
got very fortunate. I think it's because they're not cloud seeding. That's my conspiracy theory. No cloud seeding this year, and therefore we had no hurricanes. But that's another topic. So, what is the biggest mistake that you see buyers making in this market? What do you see buyers do that you just shake your head and you're like, yeah, no?
I think the bigger mistake that any buyer can make in any market, not only here, and I think here more than any buyer, I believe, it's going to look for something they can afford just to look. Because once you see it, you can unsee it.
And then they want that house. They compare every other house to that house they couldn't afford, correct?
That
Hmm.
and then, which this could be the number one too, but they go hand to hand, go to see a house when you are not pre-approved.
Yeah,
We both know how that works. It's the same result. You're
it
looking
is
at
the
something,
same.
then you can buy it and see that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, well, and like you mentioned that a lot of Miami's people are self-employed. There's a lot of people who own businesses in Miami, and oftentimes self-employed people think of their income as their gross receipts, not their net income after they've paid employees, after they've bought materials, after they've written everything off that they can. A lot of lenders, that net number is what they go off of in order to qualify somebody for a home. Now at Cross Country Mortgage here, we've got a awesome program meant for small business owners, and it is a bank statement loan, and that loan goes off of 12 months of their bank deposits in one account. We divide that in half and we call that your income, which is an amazing program. And the company that I used to work for, when I said bank statement, I knew nobody would ever want the product because it was like 3% higher than normal rates.
Yeah. Oh, I remember those times. We have been working
Yes.
together for very long.
Yes, we have. And now at Cross Country, literally the interest rate is about a 0.5%, sometimes 1%, depending on your credit score and how much money you're putting down, higher than traditional rates. But you can calculate your full income and not go off of those taxes or have to refile taxes and pay a bunch of money to the government because who wants to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
If I may say, I don't know if I'll break the rule because it's not that I'm a rule breaker, but coming from Russia, you speak out your mind, and that here sometimes it's not allowed. But I like it better all the programs you have now, and I'm gonna
I do
leave it
too.
there. Because, I
Yes.
mean, it was
Me
hard
too.
before. We lost a lot of I mean, I have my clients that you wanted to help, and I know because sometimes, obviously, the buyer is gonna go to the lowest, interest rate, and they
Yes.
don't know the quality. The person who cares, the person who will not only fight for you, because it's the interest rate, it's important, but there are ways and, to put that down, to buy points, to overcome those challenges. But there's one thing you can overcome, and it's the amount of unprofessional people, unfortunately, we have in our, and that's the biggest mistake.
Yes. Is
And
just
then how do
picking
you
somebody
know?
randomly. You can't, yeah. People
You
don't
you don't
know.
know till you get there. You will know. I mean, you remember one of our client together. He went. You wanted to no names here. You wanted to pre-approve him, and he wanted at one point. I don't remember how many
Yeah.
millions the house. And you said you're
Yeah.
not going to be able. That was a bank statement with him,
I
and he
told
was
him
like,
no.
and he went with another realtor and another lender because they told him, and he lost $10,000. Remember the deposit
Yes.
because he couldn't close because prior to closing, the numbers were the ones that you gave him. That was. I'm not laughing. I'm sorry. This is just. I'm a happy person. That was. I was like. I told you so. I mean,
Yes.
it's not like, oh, but they told me we can. Many people can tell you whatever they want. Numbers don't lie. Don't, I mean, it's like what they're saying about the market in Miami. Yeah, they can say whatever they want, but the reality is, people are moving to Miami. People are buying in Miami,
100.
and people are still. I mean, the prices are still there.
I agree. The prices are still going up. The numbers show that. So, what would your advice be for people who wanted to sell their homes now that haven't listed it yet, but they're thinking about listing their home, what would your advice be to them before they list their home, other than, hey, call my friend Lisa?
Yeah. Well, it's the first advice because I work with a lot of new expires that suffer the
Okay.
consequences. So the first advice I'd have, it's like now is the perfect time. Trust me. A lot of people are not putting their home in the market because of the holidays. That means there are less houses. That it's
That's right.
amazing. Number
Uh-huh.
two, the
Yep.
buyers are doing the same. I'm not gonna buy now because it's holiday. Guess who is there? The real buyer,
Yes,
not the window
and they
picker.
get better deals. Every holiday season, every one of my buyers has always gotten a better deal than they would have gotten
Everybody's in
that.
good mood. It's holiday.
Correct. Correct. Because
Houses
there's
are
less
so
competition.
cute. You
Mhm.
enter any house, it's decorated.
Yep.
Buyers
Correct.
fall in love automatically. So it's hard to explain that to sellers because they want a party. And I'm like, you
Mhm.
can party all you want. You can
Yeah.
do holiday all you want. But this is perfect for you because what they do, they wait till January. Let's see what happened in January. Let me tell you what happened every January. Everybody puts the house in the market at the same time. And the same house will most likely sell it for less than what you would have if you will put it in the market before. Now, what they do, they also don't want to go through "Oh, I have to move, I have to do negotiate that too. The buyer doesn't want to move on that time either. Negotiate that
Exactly.
too.
So they may be able to make a January 2nd.
You may not even closing. You can close before and you can
Yeah, and
stay in
just
the
move
house
later.
and pay to the buyer
Yeah.
that mortgage payment, which is it's higher than mine. Of course it is. It's
Yeah.
December. Okay. But hey,
Right.
check this out. You are going
I
to move in January.
actually I actually have a New York buyer who is selling her home up in New York, purchasing in South Florida. You know, New York real estate moves significantly slower, their closing process, than our process down here. So there, and I know this because I used to lend in New York, because I was a lender there. And so their process is 60 to 90 days is what it takes to close a house there, which is insane when you think that we close them for 30 days here. So she actually made an offer a couple weeks ago and she's not closing until the week prior to Christmas because that's what works for her. And the seller has already moved out of the house, has gone back to Brazil. He had nobody interested in the property. It had been on the market for like 100 and some odd days. And she was willing to give him full price if he gave her what she wanted, which is she didn't want to close until right before Christmas. So they
It's
negotiated.
It's my favorite phrase after location is everything in real estate is negotiable. I don't care.
100%.
Sorry, my English, I really don't care when people tell me, the seller told me, the buyer told me. How many times we have been in this situation that the buyer tell me and then they do the opposite. I mean, no, everything is negotiable. How many times, like going back to the statement loan, how many times this buyer thinks they can buy $1 million houses because they have an amazing income. They have an
Yes.
amazing income. And they go through your process, and they have even bigger debts.
Yes.
Your income is this much. Let's clean that
Right.
up.
Compared to your debts. Yeah, that happens sometimes where people have a lot of debt. They live bigger than they actually,
They
make
don't
the money
realize.
just because that's the American way to live off of debt.
They
Yeah.
don't realize they're doing the best advice I can give any buyer or seller. You would not go to save money when you want to pull a teeth, right? You will not go to your neighbor to save the money. You
Correct.
will go to a dentist, to a specialist. Go to someone who knows before. Don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah. Well, and someone you
Listen.
can trust that's honest, because there's a lot of people in this industry that will just say yes to whatever you want to hear and say yes for this, yes for that. Whereas people with integrity actually look at real numbers, run you through automated underwriting systems, really do our due diligence. We do our due diligence to make sure that you're really qualified to purchase a home. And that's what you want in the end. You don't want to be like Lisa and I's past client who left us to go to another lender, another realtor who just said yes to everything to him. And then he lost 10,000 and didn't get the house.
That was prior to COVID. After that, the prices went like,
Correct. Correct. And we
I
kept
mean,
on telling him, you just need to be realistic and
remember,
buy.
by now, oh, I'm gonna wait till the prices go down. The interest rate was amazing. I was like, oh my God, you don't want
Yes.
to wait. Oh, the prices are gonna go down. It's impossible. It's impossible. No, they're not. Then when the interest rate went up, oh, the
Yeah.
interest rate has it's impossible. He didn't bought then
Yeah.
there. And
No.
guess where is he? Still renting. I'm like, keep on
Right.
waiting. It's people. I think the reality is people need to if they don't know who is lying, because we sometimes don't know who's lying. Use your common sense. Use your
Correct.
common
I
sense
agree.
and listen.
And just
Don't be in
look.
a rush. Don't be
Mhm.
in a rush. Be in a rush. If
Yep.
you're at home, if you are buying a home, trust me, you don't need to rush.
Correct.
There's no need to rush. Do your homework. Ask
I
people.
agree.
Coming from Russia, I like when people tell me what I don't want to hear. If
Yeah.
I'm talking to someone who's always telling me everything I want to hear,
You don't trust them.
hair on my back goes like, what's wrong with this person? Because nothing, I mean, if it sounds too good to be true,
It's too good to
we all
be
know
true.
what it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's common
absolutely.
sense.
So let's do something kind of fun here. You and I were talking earlier, and I was talking about a property that's for sale up here in Palm Coast, Florida. And I was describing this property to you. So it's a
Maybe so.
3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square foot property on a deep water canal with a pool, with a, what is it, 90-ton boat lift. That's what the listing agent told me. Excuse me. And so you can take your boat all the way out to the ocean. So what do you
My
think
God, what you
that
just said,
was?
what you just said,
Yeah.
I checked the property.
Okay.
I was like, it's east of I-95, right?
Yeah.
Insurance wise, it's going to be expensive for you up there, but you have no idea what expenses is on insurance.
Right. Right.
Because
Insurance is very expensive down south. Yes.
down here, I mean, if I tell you the rates for the amount of money people pay for insurance, anyone who's watching will have a heart attack. And people
Yeah.
still manage to live here. Okay.
Yeah. They work it out. They work it out. Absolutely.
They make more
So
money. That's it.
what would that kind of house in South Florida cost?
Depends where you go. So
Okay.
if you go to Miami Shores, that house will not be less than minimum 2.5
Okay.
and
So
more.
2.5 million if you bought a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,000 square foot house in Miami Shores on a canal. About 2.5 million or more.
But I cannot promise you that, okay?
Right. Right. But that's a kind of a ballpark. So now what if you were buying that house a little further north of you in Pompano?
Let's go to Fort Lauderdale. Let's go to Fort
Okay.
Lauderdale. It has a lot of canals, a lot of
They do.
water.
Yeah.
You're still gonna be close to the 2 point something. And then let's go to Pompano. It's cheaper there.
Yeah. It is.
It is, right? No, it was. You're
I
still
know
gonna be.
Pompano has changed so much, which is good for Pompano. Like they've really dumped a lot of money into the city and it's a great little place to be.
It is amazing. Not anymore. Now is like Miami. Not that
Yeah.
crazy yet, but don't worry, we'll get in there. We'll get there. The craziness, I mean. So how about Delray Beach? Remember Delray Beach? How small it used to be? Nobody
Yes,
knew
now
it
it's
existed.
big. I actually have a friend who has his canal home listed on, it's on a canal, deep water canal, can go out to the ocean, boat lift, a big boat lift, plus a lift for your jet skis. I forget what the footage is. The footage, I think it's 150 feet, waterfront. They've got a pool. They completely remodeled the inside. The home is gorgeous. And I want to say he's listing close to 2 million.
You're not gonna find it for less than that.
Yeah. So now do you
Unless
want me to tell you what the house costs up here? So I'm going to give everybody the address. So here's the address that you can look it up so that you know I'm not lying. It's 40 Clarendon Court North in Palm Coast, Florida, 32137. And the price of this home is $675,000.
you should have just asked the audience to guess. Next time we'll do
Yeah.
that. And then let's
Yeah,
see who came close to it. Before
right.
before putting the address, look, I hope none of your clients and friends will call me to find them that house down here at that price. Because
Yeah, they
please don't
won't
call me. It
because they won't
doesn't
find
exist.
it.
But
What
it's
what
funny
would
because
you
people think
what is the average home price just in a normal neighborhood? So not let's not pick like the most desirable Miami neighborhoods. Let's just pick like a normal working person's neighborhood. What would you say that
750,
750? Okay, so you need about 750.
750. Sure, but you can get for less and for more. It depends. It's all location, location, location. It depends how much you want to drive. Miami,
On
it's
and where
huge.
you want to.
Yeah.
So are people in Miami attracted to that they want to be downtown because that's where work is? Or what do you find that there's different pockets? Like what do you find about where people want to live in Miami? What's desirable?
Like everywhere, people first wanted to be downtown in Miami. Then they wanted to be in Cutler Bay, almost in the
Yeah.
Keys.
Yeah.
Of course, not in the Keys, but very south, because they didn't want to be on the craziness, working in Brickell and living in Cutler Bay. Beautiful. It was cheaper. Then they realized they were spending a lot of hours in the car.
Yes,
Then
because traffic is so bad in Miami.
I don't even know how to call it anymore. But then
Yeah.
the Sampas, all the things, and the accidents. True story. My daughter, 16 years old, got on an accident because a gentleman on a Tesla, sorry, love Teslas. I don't know how it didn't stop, but it did not
No.
stop and hit
Yeah.
her from the back on the light. Isn't it that the idea of having a Tesla? So that's the things we have in Miami. We talk
Yeah.
about we talk about the bright line. We're not gonna go there. It's crazy. So that happened, and then people were like, okay, let's go to Southwest Miami. We're not that far away, we're
Okay.
not that close, and we are in a nice area. That's the
Right.
area that sells incredibly, but for highest price. And again, it
Okay.
depends what the house has.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
but it's expensive, Miami. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Miami is definitely an
I
expensive
wish I
place.
could tell you differently. You can still buy a house here for less than half a million.
Right.
It
Okay.
depends where and what you have to do.
Right now, are you seeing a shift in the types of properties that people are looking for? Like I know quite a few years ago I did a lot of condo purchases down in Miami. Is that still the case or has that market kind of cooled off, that condo market, and people are trying to get into single families? Like what do you see?
People are staying away from condos because for
Okay.
many reasons,
Yeah.
but they still can't afford to buy a house, so they go to townhomes, villas. They are trying to stay away from condominiums, and then they go to homeowner associations. It's more friendly per se for first time
Right.
home buyers. Um,
Right.
price wise, they may afford a condo, but it may not. It backfires too fast, so it's not safe now. It's
Yeah, the
changing.
condo market is the first are always the first to go down and the last to go up is what I've noticed over the
But it's
years.
still selling,
It
and the
is.
prices are still there for condos.
Yep.
I can still believe it. I'm like, "Ho why?" Because people who are buying are not locals, that's why,
Mhm.
and it's what
Well,
they can
correct.
afford.
Correct. Correct.
That's a good
Absolutely, that's true. That's
but
very
the
true. Go ahead.
uh-huh. What people wanted really, and if they are local and they have to buy a home because they want and it makes sense, what they do, they try to look for homes that have the opportunity to have an efficiency or something to create
Okay.
money while we live in the house,
So
and
that's
that
a
is
very common thing there then?
it is. It is
Okay.
very common. When it's legal, you can legalize an efficiency. In Miami,
Okay.
they did it. They changed that because otherwise, how are you going to pay for, for your home? You can. If you're local,
Uh-huh.
if you have a walk in the park, because my
Yeah.
clients from Chicago and New York, they are like, oh, 750 for that home. And I'm like, huh? Yes, it
I
depends.
know. I know it's
It
always a little
depends.
bit shocking depending on what part of the nation, globe that you come from when you hit the Florida market. Well, Lisa, I just want to say thank you so very much for coming on my show today and talking about
Thank you for
the
having.
Miami market. And so this wraps up today's conversation about what is really happening in the Miami real estate market for both buyers and sellers. So thank you for doing that. And if you're thinking about buying or selling, or you just want to understand how the market changes could affect your home goals, make sure that you contact us. I'm Jennifer Fanning. My number is 561-2955. It was listed earlier in the show. And Lisa, give us your number again as well.
Thank you for having me. My number is 786-554-7123. Lucky for you, I speak English. Call me or text me if I don't answer, because,
Yes,
but thank you for having me. It was a pleasure as usually. And let's go and, and help more people like we always do. And let's
that's
make it
right.
fun for them.
Absolutely. And that we take the stress for them. That's what
We
happens.
do, for us, it's like drinking coffee, helping them, and they have fun at the end. You can see all the reviews, and because you want to make it less stressful, because it is stressful, but we know,
It is.
and so we know what's going to happen before it happens. If
Correct.
we're lucky enough to have the clients that listen a little bit, it's usually a little bit easier. Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you liked this episode and the information that was given and you want more, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. That helps my channel, helps other people know about my channel, and helps educate more buyers and sellers in the Florida market. So thank you so very much for joining me at the Home Buyer Hotspot, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Jennifer. See you.